Hey, Irfan, what's going on?
How you doing, Alec?
Good, good. All right. Topic of conversation for today is how do we differentiate ourselves from other companies, competitors, people in our space?
Great question. Great question. Interested to see how you're gonna navigate this topic, Alex. Let's hear it.
All right. So basically, what we do is we provide the operational backbone that lets visionary real estate investors scale their portfolio. Okay. So it's like, all right, that's a lot of words. What does that mean? Right. So let's break it down here. What often happens when a business owner is going through the motions of, trying to pick what they're going to be doing and who to hire first, they often kind of fall into these, I don't want to call them traps, but they're things that investors try first. And what they try to do is they just try to address one specific problem with one specific solution, right? So I'll give you an example. So maybe they'll say, all right, I just need to like outsource this. So I'm just going to get a virtual assistant or a firm that hires virtual assistants because I heard that they were good. And they don't really vet the virtual assistant. They kind of just trust the company to give them one, and they don't really know what tasks to give them, so they just give them like very repetitive tasks, right? So that's good. That's a good start. But the thing is, then you're just spending a lot of time managing and training them, and you're not really that time that you're spending managing and training. It's like, well, I could just do this myself, right? I think a lot of people fall into that trap.
Yeah, people always say hire a VA like it's a saving solution, and it can be a great solution if you hire the right VA, right? Somebody that's willing to take on a role, embrace a role, and learn themselves. But I think oftentimes you're going to find that most administrative talent is waiting for instruction, right? And I think that's the difficulty with creating your operational backbone, right? Like you said, the operational backbone. You can't create an operational backbone with admin that are waiting for direct.
Yeah. So directions at the start are good, but you really want someone who can grow and think like autonomously and be able to contribute and reduce your time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing is like, and then even if you get a VA that's good, they're still just kind of in their zone of what they're supposed to be doing. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Obviously, we love talking about the use of VAs, but even at the best possible point, that's only solving part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
So then you might say, all right, well, my books, yeah, I don't really know what's going on. I have someone part-time doing it, but like I'm just going to get a CPA and they're going to figure it out, right? Because I got to do my taxes. That's really all I care about. I kind of know how much money I'm making, how much money I need to pay off balloon loans or whatever. Like I'll just get a CPA.
Yeah.
So that's another thing is like, okay, well, that's a good start, but it's not the whole picture.
And it might be the right solution for certain people, right? So if you have 10 units and you're going to have 10 units the rest of your life, hiring a general CPA to help you with your books and records and file your tax returns is probably the right solution for you. But if you're 100 units, I think just creating book for tax preparation is going to put you in the wrong seat, right? It's going to put you you have to have that information to make decisions off the information. I think a bookkeeper is right for the right person, but once you get more sophisticated, you have to look for more solutions.
Yeah. And so next you have, maybe you're kind of at the point where you start looking at something like a fractional COO. So most people aren't there yet. They kind of just look for an all-in-one operations person, someone, or maybe someone who can just help them with software setup or setting up some automation, which is great. But the thing is, like, are they in tune if they need to go and deal with something financial related, or they need to implement some sort of strategy that they see across the business? Will they have the know-how or authority, or is that even in their scope suggest something if they did see it? So yeah.
Kind of like the difference between like an office manager and a C-level suite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your C-level suite is going to optimize your business. They're gonna evaluate software and put software in place. And an office manager is most likely going to just utilize the software in place. They're not even going to create efficiencies with the softwares in place. So I think you get into that breaking point of, I have the office manager, things are working fine, and then I need to make things more efficiently, work more efficiently. And that's where the need for the fractional CEO comes into play, where you want to optimize your software solution. You want to optimize your efficiencies in your back office. You want to optimize your accounting functions and your operational functions, right? And the office manager is just going to get the work done. And I think that C-level suite is going to get the work done in a more efficient manner.
Yeah, totally. And software, just in general, you might find someone who's like amazing at utilizing the one software that you need. And there's increasingly programs that can, I think if you're going to look at software, the best thing you can do is look at a software or a software implementer that actually is kind of like integrates with the operations and can delegate across your team, right? Like an automation person, because that at least is going to reach out further. But some people, they just look at software and they're like, all right, if I just get an expert in the software, it's going to solve all my problems. And that's not necessarily the case either.
And on the other side, they often blame software too. So we had one proposal that they were going on their third construction software program, right? And it was clear as day to us that their operations weren't running efficiently. They didn't have the right people in the right seat, but they put the blame on the software. And they almost were sold on a different software. A different software is going to be more capable. A different software is going to help you organize. Where in actuality, they had a people problem, not a software problem. Right. So software can only go to so much length, right? The software is a tool. It's not a solution. Right. And I'm saying that today. I don't know. 3 years from now, software may also be a solution. It might be running your whole life. But at this point, software is a tool.
Yeah. You take all these systems and you put them together, well, I guess in this case, you don't put them together. And where does that leave you, right? As the visionary real estate investor, that leaves you still managing all this stuff. Like, all right, well, I got to make sure the VA is doing what they're supposed to be doing. I got to make sure we get the right numbers to the CPA. I got to make sure that the software guy I paid a lot of money is like doing what he says or she, and like, it even makes sense to pay for it. You're still in there. You're still like taking time out of your day to do this, and it's not productive, right? So where we come into play is we build the system from the ground up. We'll look at the entire thing from start to finish and say, you need a combination of these things. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some upfront investment, but it's the most important thing is it's not going to take that much of your time. And that's what we try to get through to people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So on an hourly basis, you might think it's too expensive, but if you do a return on your investment, right? Think of our fee as an investment. Think of our project as an investment. Right. Similar to investing in real estate, right? You have a huge upfront fee in putting a property into service, but because you consider it as an investment, you're taking the return over a time period. And we're going to build systems. We're going to build your team out. We're going to build the infrastructure out that you need to utilize, that you will need to utilize to scale your business. And that scaling of your business is going to create more net income. It's going to create more revenue, and it's going to create satisfaction to your team because they're going to have to reach the next step. They're going to have to go from admin staff to manager. Manager's going to have to go from managers to C level. So the scaling of your business is going to allow that growth to happen from your staff level to your books with revenue and net income, and then growth in yourself as well.
Yeah, totally. So if sounds like you and you're ready to stop managing a fragmented back office, start focusing on growth, let's chat.
Absolutely.
Let's have a chat. So I think that'll wrap it up for what were you going to say?
We're definitely here to help, right? So just have an initial conversation. I can't tell you how many times just from initial conversation, we just told the client to do this or that, and it resolved a complex problem that they were having, which wasn't really complex for us at all. So just having an initial conversation can yield wonders, but definitely reach out and we'll see what we can do to help.
Reach out. We're here. See you later, everybody.
All right, see you.